Beautiful. Thank you, Mr. Pete.
Oh, thank you
for your
Mr.
beautiful
Lee.
accompaniment there. And thank you for tuning in to another episode of Andertons TV, where today we journey into a centre of
back
the
in
universe.
time.
Journey back in time.
We're
That was
journey
what it
back
is.
in time. Journey back in time.
Now,
To the Dales of Wharf.
everyone to try and find a bit of a deal for you. And something came up recently, and I, 50-50 as to whether or not this would be a good idea, but we did it anyway, and it's you to judge whether it was.
Anyway.
Here's the background. Some of you may be familiar with an amp designer who worked for Marshall for quite a long time, also worked for Vox for quite a long time, called Steve Grinrod. And
Steve Grinwad. What? Like, it sounds like something out of Harry Potter or something.
Exactly.
From Wharfedale.
Steve Grinrod, yes. Commander Grinrod from Wharfedale. Anyway, he ended up working for a big company in China. They backed him. He had his own little brand of amplifiers called Albion, which never really took off, but some of you might be familiar with it. And one of the jobs that he was commissioned to do whilst in China was make a load of backline that was for some distributor, don't know where, Middle East, middle of nowhere, I've no idea, but who basically said, can you build us like, Middle Earth, can you build us like 500 guitar amplifiers or whatever like that? The factory built everything, and then the deal went south, and I don't know if the distributor went
or
bust
did it go
or
east?
pulled the plug.
Southeast?
Yeah, it went southeast. It ended up near Mordor, I think is the truth.
And they were trying to push them into
Yeah, and obviously this is going back probably 7 or 8 years. I don't know, 5 years, 7, 8 years. I don't know. And all these amps have literally sat in a storage facility for all that time, going nowhere until
near Hoppertown.
Earlier on this year, a little spreadsheet made it onto my desk going, make us an offer. And so, a bit blind, I must admit, we made an offer. And the amps have all arrived. And I must admit, they look all right. So predominantly, so we've got everything that's on display here. So all we've got from Albion are a 412 cab and a 212 cab. The Wharfedale stuff, we've got some heads and cabs. As you can see, they're literally exactly the same. Simply, some say Albion on them and some say Wharfedale.
Bit of a darker.
Yeah, cosmetically they have a slightly different colour scheme, but they're basically the same thing. So the Wharfedale cabs and the Albion cabs are basically the same. They have a Wharfedale own brand speaker in there called a G1270. Sounds suspiciously like a Celestion, but anyway, it is a Wharfedale badge speaker. The amps are all tube amplifiers. So there's a 35 watt. No, sorry, you got the 35 watt combo sitting behind Pete.
Behind me, yeah.
Is a 6L6 powered
Yep.
combo.
Yeah.
Then we've got a 50 combo, a 212, a 50 head, and a 100 head, which are all EL34 powered.
4x12 and a 2x12 cab.
Yes, and they are cheap.
They
like
are
the budgie.
incredibly affordable. It's like insane when I saw the
Yes.
prices. I was like, what?
Andertons has taken them all out the boxes, all the amps anyway out the boxes on arrival in the UK. Tested them all to make sure they're working. Any ones that weren't working have been through a service and obviously are now working. So everything comes with a 12-month parts and labour guarantee.
That's very nice of you.
The packaging does somewhat look like it's probably been sitting in a storage facility for 6 or 7 years.
Yeah,
but
100.
but the amps are tidy. The amps are all fine.
Yeah.
And it is what it is. So let me go through the basic preamp. In fact, you do the playing, Pete, because you're better than me.
Do you want me to plug into this guy in here?
You might as well, then I can lean over and get it kind of. So
You can lean over.
So the preamp on the 50, the 100, and the 50 combo are the same. Kind of funky, to be totally honest with you.
There's a lot in there, isn't there?
There's plenty in here. So wait till the end for the pricing as well, because I think that's where you're just going to go,
blow your mind. What?
So, starting off out here, on and off, standby switch, a switch to take it from 100% output to 33% output, and a phase switch. Because, of course, you all need a phase switch on your guitar amplifier.
Maybe that's you've got two plugged in and you can do one and then it stops humming, but
it won't. Who knows? Okay, so let's get straight into the preamp. So there's basically a clean channel, which is on this top row here. Volume, treble, middle, bass. 2 drive stages. The gain control, I believe, does the first valve stage, and the drive control does the second and third valve stages. So anyway, for the clean channel, we need to keep it's not even really a clean channel, is it? If you want it to be a clean channel, you need to keep the drive and the gain low. So it sounds like this. The reverb you're hearing is from here, isn't it? You've got no pedals on, right?
No pedals on now. No.
Okay.
So.
If I turn up the drive and the gain control a little bit, drop the volume a bit, you'll hear the clean channel goes a little bit hairy. So you don't have to have the clean channel as a clean channel. It can be a bit of both. It's got some EQ buttons here. They call shift, smooth, and tight.
Tight.
I'll let you hear what they sound like.
Let's get some more volume on there. And do that's it. There's a master output for both of the channels.
Muck around with all that if you want to. There is also a power amp response section with effectively a deep and a treble control, deep and edge they call it. It also says that you can adjust the feedback from tight to loose. I've got to be honest with you. You've got to remember Steve Grimrod was
That's a good name.
He was like a pretty
Mr. Grimrod.
What's the right? That was my old PE teacher from school.
Really?
Mr. Grimrod, yeah. He was a pretty well-respected designer, and so I think a lot of this stuff is him going, "Oh, I'll just invent this." But here we go. Channel A. Channel B.
Channel B.
I'll just turn the gain down a little bit here. So channel B has got. Ooh. that's with the gain and the drive relatively low. I think Pete and I both sort of went, there's probably more fizz than we would want as you get the gains higher. And again, it also has the shift, smooth and tight EQ controls. I won't bother doing all those again. Then, and this is where it gets a bit freaky, it has a mix control. So you can have both channels simultaneously. So you can get the kind of the attack of the clean channel with the gain and the sort of compression from the dirty channel. But here we go. So you have a mix. I think that's all right. No, I genuinely
it's all
do.
right. It's all right.
I think that's all right. And we haven't even tried any pedals yet. So what I did want to show you, this is a good example of kind of like what happens to a box after it's been in storage for the amount of time. So you know, do expect that sort of thing. So the foot switch that comes with the triple channel ones.
That was some foot. That was the foot.
So
loose.
the feet, the feet have just fallen out of there.
Good news. What was that? What's the riff? Been working
so hard. You can A/B switch, hit the mix thing, and turn the reverb on and off from the foot switch. That comes with it.
It's a cool looking switch. That.
Do you think so?
I really think that's a cool looking switch, but that's just me.
I tell you what I don't like about it. Is it work? Unless it is a MIDI cable.
It's a MIDI cable.
Oh, okay, that's not too bad. You can get those, but it's one of those DIN cables for the foot switch. So not the easiest thing to find if you lose it just before a gig. But
if you lose
if it is a MIDI cable, then they are fairly easy to find.
Yeah.
So that is the preamp that you would get on the 50 or the 100. And in fact, let's just hear it with some pedals now. So if you just wanted to use it as a clean platform, remember the reverb is from in the amp.
Which is it's a chip in there.
Yep.
So it's not a spring.
Yeah.
It's just a reverb chip. So I got a JHS set on the TS10. Just a little bit of drive.
Yeah.
Got the Dane.
Woo, woo, might need to turn that down a bit. Just
that's all right.
Jump back into the 412 just so that people can hear the relative sort of extra oomph that maybe the head gives and the 412 gives.
Active. I like it. It's mute and active.
Mute and active.
412 is much fatter. This is on the drive channel. We go back to the clean. With the JSS. And that's 100 watts here as well.
100! Merci beaucoup!
That's good, man. I mean...
So, the 50 watt 212 is going to sound... I mean, all the knobs and buttons are the same as on here. So, apart from the fact that you've got an amp and a speaker, and the speakers all in one box, it's not going to really sound that different to this.
To this setup here,
But the little 11235 will sound a bit different. So by the power of magic, we'll just jump over to that. Boom!
Boom!
Okay, the little 35 is a 112E... 6L6 loaded combo with a slightly simplified set of knobs. So we've still got two channels, but we don't have the mix control anymore.
Fits me much better.
and some of those buttons that you'd press in on the bigger one to do the sort of tone shaping aren't there, and the foot switch... Tone shaping. The foot switch now just does the channel change and the reverb. But it sounds good. So this is the clean channel. Again, the reverb built in. The gain channel, again on a sort of a medium gain setting.
I can hear 6 of the 6s.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
We didn't demonstrate on any of the amps just what sort of a volume reduction you got, but when you hit the 33%. As always with these things, it's less about reducing the volume, although it does a bit. It's more about kind of just changing the way the amp compresses and drives and
so
things
you can
like
put the volume up and the gain in and the gain down, volume up, gain in, gain down, tone. Yes.
So,
gain in and the gain down, volume up, gain in, gain down, tone, 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 volume up, gain in, gain down, tone, gain in, gain down.
I think, you know, if we go through the pros and cons of these things,
cons.
They look okay, I think. I actually quite like this thing. I don't know if, Wharfedale's clearly not going to be a sort of a badge of honour.
Bird's eye.
But it looks okay. Got loads of features, which is kind of cool. They're massive, so
they're
that's
quite heavy.
That's not so much this one, but the 212 combo and the 412s.
The 100 watt heads are, yeah, they're pretty.
So don't buy one of those if you've got a bad back. But of course, the best thing is the pricing. Whilst I just go to our Tinterweb. Thank you, Pete, for the... Actually, could you have some dramatic build-up music? Here we go. Wharfedale. Boom! Okay, actually there's some bass gear as well, so bass players we'll do another thing with Nathan and Lee when they're around. So, the bestest deal is to buy the 50 watt head on the 212,
yes,
and the two combined together with a speaker lead of 349.
That's what I said. It's so incredibly
50 watt head and a 212 cab for 349. I mean, if this said
349 quid.
If this said Marshall or Fender or Blackstar or Vox or any other brand like that on it, 50 watt head with a 212 cab be at least 1,000 quid. I'm just saying. All valve. Anyway.
Hashtag. Just
Here's
saying.
another good deal. In fact, maybe this is the best deal because this is ridiculous. The 100 watt head with the 4x12 is $399. Yeah. that's like £150 less than a Marshall 4x12, and you just get the head for free as well. Yeah. Anyway, it is crazy cheap.
$399.
What? If you already have a head and you just want the cabs, you can have the Wharfedale 212 for $149 or the 412 for $199.
So you really get that for 100 quid if you buy the set.
Well, so the heads are available on their own for $299 for the 100 watt head and $249 for the 50 watt head. So they're stupidly cheap. I mean, I'm kind of thinking to myself,
get the whole set.
Maybe. So the combos are a little bit dearer, but combos always tend to be.
Yeah.
So $329 for the 35 watt 1x12.
Yeah, 6L6 bass.
Yeah. However, the 212 is only 20 quid more than that. So the 212 50 watt is $349. You know what we've also got?
Same as that then.
Yeah,
the same as this. So these are the same.
Now the Albion cabs are exactly the same as the Wharfedale cabs, but I've got a funny feeling they're a little bit dearer, probably just because. Yeah, they're a little bit dearer just because I guess the brand is a bit maybe better. But anyway, 159 for the 212 and 249 for the 212. Is that dearer? I don't know. I've forgotten now. Anyway, and I've also almost forgotten. I just spotted it out the corner of my eye.
Yeah.
There is absolutely something here for a last-minute bit of fun for
Christmas.
anyone that literally just wants a throwaway
amplifier.
Are you
ready? You ready?
3, 2, 1. Okay, this is a little 10-watt amplifier with an ECC 83 preamp tube in it. So it's semi-valve. It has volume, treble, middle, bass, gain, a selectable drive channel, headphone output, and auxiliary in. No Bluetooth, because it was probably made before Bluetooth was even invented. Anyway.
It's got a pigeon though when it comes out.
I think it's a 8-inch speaker or a 10-inch speaker, something like that.
It's not
but
big.
It's 10 watts. Specs will be on the website, or maybe even on the page now. I don't know how we do things here anymore.
We can do anything we like.
So here's the clean sound. Pete is using a reverb pedal on the floor.
I mean, it's a practice amp, you know.
It's just a fun practice amp.
It's a practice amp for home,
But I can't think of anything else that you get a little tube in anymore for this kind of dough. And it also has a gain channel. Let's engage the gainage.
Gainage!
So there you go. 69 of your finest pounds
69?
will get you one of those.
It's my favourite number.
I'm sure it is. I can't remember how many of each of these we've got. I think the little 10-watt one is the one we've got the most of. But some of these we've only got 10 of or whatever like that. So anyway, you can see on our website as the stock starts to run out. What can I say?
I mean, I would absolutely get this. It's a great little thing for that amount of money. I mean, to get this as well.
I don't know. I mean, again,
almost the same space.
There is no kind of like recommended retail price or anything to say, oh, it used to be this and now it's this, because this kind of stuff has never been on sale in the UK before. It is what it is. It's kind of it's obsolete.
It's non-existent anymore. Apart
kind
from
of
this.
it is. I think the only way you can take a judgment on its price is to just look at what would it cost you to buy
now
anything, this kind of stuff with any other brand on the front of it. And it's got a good designer behind it. As I said, Steve Grimrod he did a load of Marshall stuff. He did all the Vox stuff when it moved from the UK to China.
Well, so some.
Yeah.
Proper,
he's a sound and well, you know, as in a
he's a sound engineer.
I was going to say a sound engineer, but obviously.
He's
so there
a
we go.
sound engineer.
Should we? Do you want to just plug back into that again, and we'll just noodle out again, or
I'll noodle.
You know, and then we can say goodbye. And I think we're going to try and quickly edit this video up in time for Christmas. So if you're sort of thinking, oh, maybe I've got some money on Christmas Day, and you're going, what can I buy on the Andertons website? Why don't you go and see if we've got any left?
Buy myself a little Christmas present, a 4x12, and 100 watt head for $3.99.
I said they're big and heavy though, so if you've got back problems or anything like that, don't do it.
Maybe not a good idea.
You need to be built like Taylor, basically, like goodbye.
Yeah. See ya.